A student is considering how to levitate a thin metal rod in a strong magnetic field of 1.2 Tesla. The current flowing through the rod will be 2.3 ampere. So the information given is we have the magnetic field intensity. Magnitude is given as 1.2 Tesla, and the current flowing through the rod will be 2.3 ampere. Use a label diagram to show a suitable orientation of the current and the magnetic field to achieve this outcome. Include relevant forces in your diagram. So levitation, that means we have to lift the rod. So let's draw, let's say for example, this is the rod, and which is to be lifted up. Yeah. And when we say it has to be lifted up, so the force of levitation has to be acting in the upward direction. This is the direction of the force. Yeah. And it is carrying a current. So we have a current flowing through the rod, let's say current I, and there is also a magnetic field. So we have to, the direction of the current is given, so maybe I can use the vector diagram over here. Direction of the current is given as in this direction from left to right, and the magnetic field is to be placed in such a way that the resultant force, so the force that will be experienced by the rod has to be vertically upwards because we have to lift the rod up. So what should be the direction of the magnetic field? So there could be only two possible directions of the magnetic field. So maybe I can make a, if I call it as maybe X, Y, so this will be Z axis and this will be Z dash. So the direction of B has to be either OZ, along OZ, or OZ dash. So which of the two we have to see. So in this case, so formula that is to be, expression that is to be applied is given as force is equal to L times I cross B. Yeah. And if we keep the angle between the two as 90 degrees, so this can be written as L I B sine 90. Sine 90 is 1. So F is equal to LIB. Now, if we let's pick up any one direction of the magnetic field. So if I pick up in this direction, yeah, B, and let's see what is the direction resultant, what is the direction of the force that will be applied. So if you at the origin O, if you rotate a screwdriver from I towards B, yeah, by the smaller angle, which in this case is 90 degree. So in that case, the force F will point in the downward direction. So I can say that if the direction of B is like this, let me call it as B1, then there will be a resultant force F1, yeah, which will be pointing in the downward direction. But in the question given to us, we have to lift the metal rod. So therefore, the other direction that is possible should be over here. And maybe I can call it as B2. Yeah, and now if you apply the same principle, if you keep the screwdriver at position O, origin, and move it through the smaller angle between I and B. Yeah, so if I move it from I to B2, in this particular case, the direction of movement of the screw will be upwards, and therefore B2 is correct. Yeah. So if I can represent the same thing in this picture, it will be like this. So this will be B2. So that is into the page. So but then if it is into the page, then how do we show the direction of B? So we show it with cross like this. Yeah. So B is moving into the plane of the paper. So that will be the direction of B or B2. Yeah. So it says suitable orientation of the current and the magnetic field. So current direction we have already shown, and magnetic field direction also we have shown. So if the current is from left to right, I, and the magnetic field is into the page, B2, then the direction of the force will be upward direction. And since we have to complete the diagram, so we can complete it like this. The current cannot flow in a open loop, so we have to close the direction. So we place a battery over here. Because current is moving in the clockwise direction, so this will be plus terminal of the battery and this will be minus. Yeah. So maybe we can put a resistor over here. Yeah. So this is the current I, and there is a voltage or EMF V. So that's the answer. So this is our circuit diagram which shows the levitation of the rod by placing it into a magnetic field. Now if we go into another variation of this question, what if we change the direction of the magnetic field? So if we change the direction of the magnetic field, so then it becomes something like this. Maybe I will use a smaller space to explain. So in this case, this will be the direction of B1, yeah, and this is the direction of the current, and therefore the resultant force will be the downwards. Maybe I can call it as F1. Yeah. What if I change the direction of both? If I keep the direction as B1, for example, so this is B1 coming out of the page, and maybe this is the direction of the current is from right to left, then again we will see that the direction of force will be in the upward direction. How do you get that? So you rotate, keep a screwdriver at position O and rotate through the smaller angle from I to B. Okay, screwdriver from I to B1. The direction of the movement of the screw will be moving upwards, F. Now let's take the second part of the question. Explain why the maximum mass per unit length of the rod cannot exceed 0.282 kilogram per meter. Support your answer with a calculation. So let's see what are the upward force. So we have to see what are the forces that are applying on the rod. So in the upward direction, maybe the diagram is not so good. This is the force due to the magnetic field, and in the downward direction we have the force due to the gravity on the rod. So when there is so for the rod to be moving upwards, the force due to the magnetic field has to be greater than the force due to gravity. It should be, if it is equal to, then it will be in equilibrium, it will not be moving, and therefore it has to be greater. Yeah. So let's put the values. So Fg and Fm values. So Fm is same as what I have written the expression over here. So that will be L B should be greater than M into G. and the question says mass per unit length. So if I divide both the sides by length, it will be IB, and if I divide both the sides by G, so that will be IB upon G should be greater than mass per unit length. And if we put the values, so let's put the values. I is given as 1.2 and B is given as 2.3 divided by 9.8 should be greater than M by L. So if you do these calculations, so M by L will be less than, put the values, it will be 0.282. Yeah, so mass per unit length of the rod has to be, it cannot exceed 0.282. It has to be less than 0.282. That's all.